Hi, I'm Joe from a Smarter Home Canada, and this week we're going to be looking at the Wyze camera setup that I have going on in my house right now. I've always believed that security in a home by video surveillance is very beneficial. In fact, I've been using video cameras for so long. The first camera setup that I had, I bought off the internet in the early 2000s, was called an X10. I did manage to find some pictures of it and actually the website that I bought it from. I don't think any of these links work anymore. Kids, if you look at this website, all those blank spots used to be what were called flash advertising. Be happy that is not a thing anymore. When the Wyze cameras came out, I switched over to them. I've been super impressed by their quality, their longevity, their durability as well. And I'm going to show you some setups that probably are not recommended for these cameras, and they work fine. Currently in my home, I have 6 cameras set up, starting with 3 that I use for security and 3 I use for fun. The 3 I use for security are my front yard camera, which is a Wyze Pan version 3, one inside my garage, which is the Wyze original pan, and then I have a V3 in my backyard just to cover pretty much the entire backyard. Watching my 3D printer is one of the original Wyze cameras. I bought this when it first was available. I had to get it shipped in from the States because they didn't deliver to Canada at that point. I think I paid more in import fees and shipping than I did for the actual camera. The final 2 cameras I have in my setup are both version 3s of the Wyze Cam. One of them I have mounted in my backyard and it is pointing directly up to the sky. That's my sky camera. And then I also have a second one that is attached to my back window that monitors my bird feeders. I'll show you some footage from all of those just in a little bit here. So let's continue on with the video. The camera I have covering the front yard is mounted just outside my garage door. I easily fed the USB cable through the trim, tucked it away to the side so it wouldn't interfere with the garage door operation. Now, I really love the way this looks. It looks like it's something out of Portal.
Hello.
Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a magnet mounting, so I did have to crazy glue a rare earth magnet onto the base to be able to stick it to the garage. The camera up front picks up exactly what you think it would be picking up. Cars coming in, wildlife such as bunnies hopping across the driveway, coyotes following bunnies, this drunk guy who always seems to be in my front yard playing with his phone, package deliveries, drunk neighbors if out for a leisurely walk at night, yard maintenance. Here I was having a tree cut down. Let's watch that again in slow motion. Neighbors behaving badly? Don't do this to your neighbors, people. Criminal activity in the neighborhood. This guy's been robbing people's garages late at night.
Allegedly.
And that's a great reason to have a camera covering your garage as well. Added security never hurts. Anyone comes through the doors, the cameras are going to track them. The final camera I have in my security setup is the backyard camera. Covers everything in the backyard, the entranceway to the forest. That way, if anybody gets back there, we're notified about it. I don't really worry too much. I live in a very safe neighborhood. So mostly it's just picking up small animals, turkeys, rabbits, coyotes, the occasional Sasquatch. Those are the security cameras I have set up. Just keep in mind that no amount of cameras are going to stop somebody from breaking into your house if they really want to get in there. Now let's get on to some of the fun things you can do with your Wyze cameras if you have some extra hanging around or just decide to want to do something like this. The camera I have watching my 3D prints isn't doing much right now because my printer, unfortunately, is offline. I did an upgrade on the printer, and as usual, there's one setting that just isn't working right, so it just likes to keep printing these flying spaghetti monsters. One of my favorite setups is what I call the sky camera. I took a 3D printed clip, mounted it to the eaves trough, and just pointed the camera directly at the sky. You're going to want to set the camera to black and white or auto mode. The Wyzecam has very good night vision. This is not a feature you want right now. The black and white is going to give a much clearer picture of the sky and make it easier to capture events. I originally had this set up at the front of the house, but I did find there was too much light pollution, so I did move it around to the back of the house and I get a much better picture now. Using this setup, I've been able to capture some really great images of shooting stars and other nighttime phenomena. I've also caught many strange things, such as Superman, my neighbor getting abducted by aliens, Klingon bird of prey in cloak mode, alien invasion army. I guess they lost because that's them coming back. I also caught the start of this storm front on a day where we had tornado warnings all across southern Ontario. The Wyze camera also has a really good time-lapse feature that you can get some incredible night sky shots with. Because it is outdoors, you do end up getting a lot of junk and false triggers on the camera. You do get a lot of birds. But one of the nice things is I did get a sneak preview to season 5 of Stranger Things. Out of all my cameras, my favorite is my bird camera. I have this set up on my back window. So the bird feeder cam is just attached to a mount that you can get on Amazon that just sticks to your window with 3M tape. I printed this bird feeder off a file I found on Thingiverse, and all I did to mount it was drill some holes, get some suction cups from Canadian Tire, and hung it on the window. I had it filled with peanuts to attract blue jays, since they are one of my favorite birds, and there tends to be a lot of them in the area that I live. Unfortunately, the peanuts also attracted a bunch of squirrels that would attack the bird feeder. They destroyed a few of them. They chewed through the bottom of two of them. They wrecked my screen window. And finally, this happened. I hate that squirrel. So I decided to change the position of the camera and focus it on my hummingbird feeder, since we are in hummingbird season right now. I'll probably switch back to the peanuts once fall comes and the blue jays start coming back. And that's it for this week. Thanks again for watching. If you want to like and subscribe, go ahead and do that. If you don't, I don't care. I'm just an old Canadian guy in his new Canadian home trying to make it a little bit smarter and have some fun at the same time. Thanks for watching.